What's up, folks? Nick Coffey here, 790 KRD. This is what we're going to call the show after the show. I'm going to try to do this each and every day where we give you about maybe not 5 minutes, but a few minutes talking about what we talked about on the show if you did miss it. And for those who don't know, Cars Radio 790 KRD, brand new lineup. You've got Howie Lindsey going to be coming at you from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. every morning with Louisville First. We'll have Dan Patrick from 10 to noon, and then I'm going to be on air with you every day from noon to 3, followed by the afternoon underdogs. So today is Wednesday, March the 9th. I want to make sure I've got my days correct, but it's March the 9th. And today's show, the big topic was the worst losses you've experienced as a fan. And not only the worst loss, but did it feel worse to you when you suffered that loss than the postseason ban felt? A lot of people seem to think that the postseason ban was the worst of the worst. I don't think so. I went through and throughout the show and ranked my top 5 worst losses ever for U of L. It could be basketball, it could be football, and it's kind of unfortunate because it takes you back to the bad times. But nonetheless, you know, there were a lot of bad losses, but most people who got involved on the show, whether it be on Twitter or through the phone lines, they said the postseason ban was the worst. So we talked about that. Also talked about Katina Powell and her situation where she's now talking to the NCAA. And also ESPN's going to have that new, what they call a fresh story. So that'll be something that you can check out the podcast. There's not a whole lot to really get to on that. And also another topic was Pro Day. You had Pro Day over there at U of L football. We talked to Howie Lindsey, who was actually on site at the complex. Got some updates from him. And last but certainly not least, the big news today was Garrick McGee stepping down. I don't know if he stepped down, but he's leaving U of L. He's going to go to Illinois to be the offensive coordinator under Lovie Smith. Looks to be like a clear lateral move. U of L offense is he's got a lot of pieces this year at U of L. Bobby Petrino does, and you'd think Garrick McGee would want to be a part of that. But what I've mentioned over and over is, to me, this just looks like a guy who wants to be a head coach again, right? He wants to be able to control his own offense. He wants to be able to put points on the board and have people say, okay, that guy is responsible for this. Because in the grand scheme of things, let's say Louisville starts putting 50, 60 points on people again. More often than not, people are going to credit Bobby Petrino for that, not Garrick McGee. So to me, as mentioned, it's a lateral move, but I can understand why he wants to do it because he was a head coach before. You got to think he wants to eventually be a head coach again, and maybe this is a better path for him at Illinois because if they're able to turn it around, he'll get a lot of credit for that along with Lovie Smith. But anyways, if you missed the show today, you missed out, so don't do it again. Make sure you guys check us out every weekday from noon to 3 right here on Cards Radio 790 KRD.